Growing up in America, I was raised with fantastical notions of what Scotland is like. With the popularity of Mel Gibson's Braveheart, Americans were enraptured by the pseudo-historical glimpse into the wild past of the Scottish Highlands. It wasn't uncommon for school kids to claim a distant ancestor from Scotland, which occasionally leads to embarrassing moments like Americans dressing in tartan and shouting, "Freedom!" Freedom! My family came from this clan or that clan, that's why I have red hair, ginger kids would explain, only a week after declaring that they were Irish. We have our fantasy of Scotland, but that scarcely prepares us for the reality of it. In preparation for coming to Scotland, I wanted to shatter my preconceived notions early. I watched Trainspotting, then I watched the sequel. I even watched The Wicker Man, and that movie left me more confused than I was to begin with. Whatever the case, I wanted to prepare myself to experience a little bit more than romantic mountains, hills, and twinkling locks. I wanted to see the real thing. After getting established in Edinburgh, I put on my boots and I left for a lone trip to Loch Tay to see it for myself. I woke up around 3 in the morning on a cold, snowy day, and I made my way to the train station in Haymarket. Before the sun had fully risen, I stepped out into the streets of Stirling. I had made it to the gateway to the Highlands, the place where William Wallace won the Battle of Stirling Bridge, and just a stone's throw away from where Robert the Bruce defeated the English army. The landscape opened up around me, looking past the city limits. I could see the Wallace Monument on a hill, lit up by the sunrise. I would later return to spend more time in Stirling, but at this point, I had to take a bus to the Callander public toilets. Yes, the beautiful journey into the Highlands would take its first official stop outside of some public restrooms, where the small passenger van, which was the official bus of the area, would then take me to the lovely village of Killen on the shores of Loch Tay. It was here that my heart stood still, and I felt the wonder that I had sought to suppress come right back to me. No, not at the public toilets. That was afterwards, when we started driving north out of Callander. The journey from there would go through heavily forested roads and small villages at first. Later, the road began to meander and curve as it straddled the foothills of the quickly rising mountains. Mountains would appear before me, every one larger than the last, and between them and the valleys were similarly growing lochs. The cold and icy waters of the lochs sparkled in the sunlight, with peaceful swans lazily drifting where they found the water warmest. I eventually came into Killen, on the eastern shore of Loch Tay, the largest of the nearby lochs, and the 6th largest in all of Scotland. The 700 souls living in Killen are some of the luckiest people on earth. Their tranquil village is split in the middle by the Falls of Dochart, which flow onwards through the woods past an ancient burial ground of the MacNab clan. It was here in Killen that the Bible was first translated into Scottish Gaelic by local minister James Stewart in 1767. Monuments and graves in the villages are all in Gaelic, which was spoken here by the majority of people since its earliest history up until the last century. Well, I stayed on the edge of the River Lochie, one of the rivers that flows into Loch Tay. In the Killen Hotel, I had a large room overlooking the gentle river, and I rested there for a spell. I made myself some strong coffee, put on as many layers as I could. It was cold outside, I'm talking snow and ice, and started out to see Loch Tay. I tramped down the frosty path on the way to the loch, getting my boots wet from the wet moorland ground. When finally I reached the water's edge, I could look off into the distance and not even see the end of the loch. But I knew that beyond the limits of my sight, there were more ancient villages, and the River Tay flowing into the town of Aberfeldy. I was surrounded by mountains on all sides, the largest of which was Ben Lors to the left of where I sat. In a place like this, all of your problems seem smaller. No worries that I had lingering in my mind remained as I sat alone with the swans on the shores of Loch Tay. In quiet solitude, I could fix my eyes in any direction and see something beautiful that a photograph could never do justice to. Every ripple in the water brought Scottish folklore to my mind. In times past, people here told stories of water horses, Iakuska, that would carry you down into the depths of the water to your doom. Luckily for me, the water horses must have been too cold to be out that day. In a quiet place where you're surrounded by immense beauty like this, it's no wonder that the imagination can run wild. The stories of the Scottish Highlands have survived for thousands of years, folklore perfected by the ancestors of the friendly people that remain. The Highlands are a difficult place to leave. It would be much more preferable if I could stay and live there in continuous bliss rather than return to the reality of the 21st century grind for cash. However, the Highlands will remain, always there for when I or any other lucky person can return. A land of towering mountains, winding streams, powerful rivers, ancient stone circles, folklore, traditional music. It's a place that was given a little extra time in God's oven to become perfectly well done.